Okay, so today what I'm working on is more of this book idea. So what I have done so far is tested out the measurements of things to make sure that stuff more or less would create a circle when it's totally unfolded, and then I tried stitching everything together, which is what this stitching is here. It's a Coptic stitch, and it means that it can open up completely without there being any gap in the middle, and did that. Then I also tested cutting out the stills of the animation that I want to include, and then doing like a quick spray thing and creating silhouettes inside, so you have a little bit of both. And that's the last thing that I ended on. And then over the weekend I was looking at things a little bit and also waiting for some magnets to arrive in the mail. Magnets arrived, and I came up with a prospect of something that I'm not 100% sure how well it will work, but instead of having my first test sort of stuff was having a sort of, you can't see that super clearly, a slit up here, and when the page folds and then you attach it, you have a little tab. But in order to do that, you have to take the page, lift it up, put it in that tab, and it's a little bit messy, a little inconsistent. So then what I thought was, what if the tab is just across, and instead of having just a slit at the end where it fits, having it a thinner section the full way across, so that when I assemble the book, I can put it, the tab across, and then when you open, it just sort of slides up. So that's where I'm at now. I created a new outline structure for that. Let me come over here and show that loose structure. Let me Firefox. Okay. So this is in Cuddle, and there's some adjustments here. So instead of before, let me make sure this is showing. Yeah. Before, the tab was just on the end, and it was only on the top, and there was just a slit that was cut like approximately right about here, but I changed that to where there's an overlap here where it's not quite the full length of the tab on this upper length of the active sort of area, and instead there's now a larger slit that cuts down here, which is an entry point for the tab, that the tab can go in here, and then that overshoots the length of this flap, and so it should function. This is me testing today, and then this is just a rectangle that I put in that's larger, that's meant to be the area that I'm sort of cleared to cut out and use as a stencil. So I just now finished cutting out on the Cricut, so I'm going to grab that, pull it in here, and then see how well it functions just on like a single page and go from there. Before I get like anywhere with it, I'm going to number these, because if I number them, I'll have a better overall experience. So these go 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to do these 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Okay, so I am going to see how this works. In my mind it works, but in actuality, I don't know. So let's take this outside guy off. let's see how this assembles just as a single page, because that will let me test the folding sort of mechanism. So, page 1. It's like this, and then folds here. And this, ideally, folds down, and you're able to put it in here. And then when you open it, it comes out. That's nice. I think it works. So my next step right now is actually going to be pulling all these out and then doing spatter, doing the like putting the ink on there. What I might do is do half of them just by taping down the edges, just like going and spattering all of it, and then coming back and doing the other half. I think that might be the best approach. So let me get all these guys off. They're numbered, which is nice, because if they aren't numbered, I'm going to get confused because these aren't the silhouettes of each of these, not super distinct. What I might do ultimately, if I'm making a number of these books as like a final piece, I might just cut out a bunch of the same. Like, I think I can get, if it's at this scale, 7 out of a single piece of paper, which is one reason I'm doing things how I am. And then just have those. It's like, I know that's all number 1 and 2, and then all of these are number 3 and 4, and all of these are 5 and 6, 7, 8, whatever. Make an addition of like 10 total, maybe 14 total. I don't know. It's not a crazy amount of paper. Okay, these are there. I'm just going to go ahead and do a couple things. Get a new tape going. Clear off this guy. I was like, why is there more leftover material? It's because the tabs interact in a different way. And so there's these gaps on the top and bottom of each page that's cut out, where before they were flush, and so there was less cutout material. Little figures. And then just these little dots that are an alternative to using an awl or a hole punch, which I might ultimately add more holes or work larger. I gotta figure some elements out. In the meantime, I'm gonna put this away. Okay. That's put away. I can exit out of that And I don't need Cricut running anymore. Let's come back to OBS, see what I'm working on, and I'll do these odd numbers first, I guess. Just don't need to maintain an order right this moment. Let me see how this works. Not a bad way, just a tiny bit. A way that I would need to reconcile later on. Better outcome if I do this. There's a bunch of little pieces of tape. Okay. Now, ink time. Now drying time. Mostly the ones where it was a little bit heavier. Shouldn't take too long to dry. And then, yeah, I'm gonna let them dry a little bit first before I handle stuff too much. And try and get my fingers relatively clean. Stuff still drying. That's what I did with these guys. Yeah, not too much to really talk through at this moment, just waiting. Bum, 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 bum. Probably work on at least some preemptive fold elements. But just move this out the way. There's less risk for the time being. Folding on this, the score marks are slightly off. Okay, now these need to dry a bit. While those are drying, I can cut. And while I'm doing this as well, 1 inch tall. Only 2 for the time being. I'm gonna cut a hole in here for the thread. Using the screw punch. And clear that out. Now magnets. Place. I'm gonna have 2 of these. And I'm gonna mark these guys. so that I know which sides have the same polarity. Okay, and now I need to measure this. I think that should be 12 by 6. Okay, 12 by 6. So I'm gonna mark out center on this. And my plan is to have it going in this orientation. So let's have it go quarter-inch in. Quarter-inch in, and then from this middle 6 millimeters in either direction. And then this needs to be magnets and see if it fits. Got a little bit of room. Okay. Next step for me is going to be doing some like basic gluing, or I might just use. I'm just going to use some double-sided tape for the time being. And yeah. make this a little more interesting. I need one of those magnets. These are thicker than this board, so I'll need to get thicker chipboard. That's a cover that I need to now cut. Actually, not sure which side is up on this right now. Doesn't matter. It does not. Okay, I just need to make it so that side goes down. Assembly time. What might end up happening is that I have to, for the reverse side, just double up on this board so that it has a little less strength of the magnet. But that's something to consider later. Now I'm not going to assemble these. I'm going to wait till the book is fully formed and then come back. This is 6. Peel the tape away from the paper. So don't, whatever paper is on top, peel it away from it and you're less likely to scar the paper. Okay, those are in order. And what do I want to be the cover? I'll let this be the cover. put more music on in a minute. I'm just very close to being done with this. It's easier to hold it all together. Barely holds it closed with that magnet. Okay. Might need to find even stronger magnets. Okay. But orientation here is like this and this. Or I could use thinner paper, but stronger magnets are my preference right now. Singing the song. I forget. I think this goes. I forget what the order of this is. Let me check this out. Come into the outside. Into the inside section. Loop around. If I do this enough, then I'll just know it, but right this moment, I don't just know it. I have to review it. So that goes there. Inside the last folio, or whatever it's called. And then out through here. It's not supposed to go around there. It's supposed to go through here. Just about there. This magnet barely holds on this end. I don't know if that's just stickiness. On the outside it will. Okay. Music. I'm gonna see something in my testing. That's better, but still not quite what I would hope. I could make a thicker cover. I got options. That would still use these magnets. But anyway, I need to adhere this. And let's see how this. Okay. Match these all together. Could give this a larger gap or not. I don't know. This might be an issue of the added friction from the ink. I'm not sure. Doesn't work. If there's not a place for these to sort of settle on the far end, there's not really a reason for them to fully unfold. These magnets also really alter the center of gravity. There's a solution here, I just don't know what it is. Is it that it's 2 books? I really don't want that. Is it that it's still 1 book, but there's a cover in the middle? Like there's an additional one of these guys. So that when it's closed, it like has about half the amount of paper that it has to go through in order to close. And also with that, you have slightly more equal distribution of weight, because the heaviest thing in this right now, definitely the magnets. And if there's an additional magnet that is, say, page 7, then it would spin a lot easier. Right now it's an interesting structure, but it's not doing what I want it to do. And what I want it to do is just like open up, be a real clean opening. And right now, that's not happening, I think, because these flaps are a little long. And they're inhibited to, like, open fully. It's an interesting structure currently, but it isn't solved. Let's say that I have a little less give here, and it dips down. And gives me a little bit of like a latch point. So right now my clearance is decent, but if it opens up and latches into place with a second cover in the middle, so let me write this down. These guys work fine, but I need to Sharpie will show up nicely. Okay, so right now I have 2 covers and a bunch of pages in the middle. And in each cover there's a magnet buried here. So let's add a 3rd cover. Let's make this a club sandwich of sorts. And that means that there's another magnet in here. The other element is when these are opening up, they're too loose. I need something that makes it so this slit coming from over here, it's almost just like as it's sliding up, get it just a little bit tighter, and then have a drop off in that corner so that it latches. maybe just on the top. I don't think I need it on the bottom as well. The bottom is nice for stability so that this doesn't fall off. But it's getting there. It's closer than it was. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, that came undone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's see how a magnet holds up. Here. Single magnet. If putting one of those in the middle of this, if that holds it, that seems like it's holding. Now let's fold the rest of this. Oh, that has both on that side. That's not what I want. Everything's magnetic. Separate out here. That closes. Okay. Thickens the book, but that's okay. So that, I think, solves that issue. What if these are just at an angle? I don't get as clean of a look between each one. Ideally, it latches a little bit. I'm not going to put like 7 magnets in this thing, but 3 for the thicknesses. Okay. Also, these magnets are chunkier. Covers need to be thicker. So they can be like 2 of this test stuff. It could even be that what I do is double up, have it just inset here, which I mentioned before, and then just have another layer there. Reconnect this guy. Anyway, yeah. So, let me write down 3rd cover, with 3rd mag, latch to catch tab. Yeah, because that way it'll keep things more in place. So that means give it a little less wiggle room. Latch. And then raise that bit. If there is a third cover in there, it needs to fall after the, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then right now I'm using just the tab and overhanging, but if I had a dedicated mechanism here, it would be nice. Whether or not it's just an overhanging tab that goes in that little mix there. I think that would be nice. That's for the frame number 1. And then it will be more annoying to close, but it'll work. It's an art book that's meant to open up as being the initial interest. One, 2, 3, 4. Let me put the date on this. Doesn't quite. Magnets. Do and don't complicate what's happening with it. Okay. So, solid test. Need to review some elements. Rather save this magnet than dedicate it to just a test book guy. Could also find stronger magnets, but these are pretty strong for their size. It's going to be difficult with the size of the book and such, if to get even stronger magnets than what those guys are offering, while also being not unnecessarily strong on this end, where there's less material between the magnets. Okay, so I think that's it for today. Spatter guy. tabs work okay. Oh, that's the issue. Is that there's no real reason for these to be going fully extended except for me wanting them to be, as far as how they're behaving. Yeah, that tab would really, or that extra little like latching thing would help. Okay, yeah, that's it for today. I'll do my spiel. If you want to buy stuff from me, you can go to my web store, traceloops.com/store. If you want to purchase something and have it shipped outside of the US, you can email me, traceloops@traceloops.com. You can also email me with comments, concerns, questions, curiosities, commissions, etc., etc. Again, that is traceloops@traceloops.com. If you want to watch this stream or other streams in full, you can do so by going to the live section of my YouTube channel. You're already here, so probably pretty easy to find. If you want to follow me on other platforms, you can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Tumblr, Spotify, all of those places. I'm Traceloops, TRACELOOPS. If you want to support me on Patreon, you can do so by going to patreon.com/Traceloops, where you will find high-resolution versions of artwork that I create during streams. You'll also find a selection of tutorials, and at higher tiers, new songs from me weekdays, and at the highest tier, you get a monthly postcard from me with original artwork on the front, little message on the back, and a discount to that aforementioned web store. That's it for today. Should be back tomorrow. I'll see about trying to make some adjustments to how this book is bound. It's got a weird edge there. I also might even consider doubling up. You have to do an even number, but having it be like an eighth of an inch, like just increasing the total number of stitches on the back end so that it is a little bit more stable, because just with 2 it's got a decent chunk of wiggle room. But yeah, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. I'm going to continue working on this book structure and see if I can't solve some elements. Yeah. Adios.